Gilberto made that. Impressive, isn't it?
That's incredible. And
Gilberto made it.
Gilberto made it?
Yeah. You believe him.
Listen, I'm now good of a footballer.
No, but
he does this as well. He can do everything.
No, but give him some time. I can do something similar, not as good as this.
Amazing. No, it is incredible. It's an honor to have you on the stage as well, Gilberto Silva, being an Arsenal fan myself. But let's get into the app then. So, obviously, abuse-free social media platform. Something I read in that video that I just saw there as well. You can connect with your football idols and heroes. Like, I have the honor of doing that right now, but on the app, is that true? Do you have a database of footballers that are really using the app? Because I know you can say you might get a message. I mean, there's apps like Cameo where you can request and pay for videos, but how's that different on Strava? Because I'd love to be able to pick up my phone and speak to a Bukayo Saka, shall we say.
Well, he's not on it yet, but there are other players. So we feel that social media was genuinely created, like Mr. Zuckerberg genuinely created social media to connect people.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could argue that there's a more divisive tool in the world at the moment than social media. So the essence of Striver is, when you see on social media a young kid that meets Ronaldo or Gilberto Silva or Roberto Carlos, that meeting can genuinely change anybody's life. And they're talking about it forever. The video, they'll show their friends forever. And that is the essence of what we want Striver to feel like. Your feeling you get when you use Striver is that. Unfortunately, footballers are done with social media. All the players and clubs, generally speaking, we talk to are done with social media. It's just not, and content creators are like, well, you have to do it because it's your job.
It's your job.
So, but they're just done with it because the amount of abuse they get, they're not interested in posting them. It's just not worthwhile for them. So, in fact, some of them are looking to get out of very lucrative contracts in order to stop posting on social. And now what they do is they employ an agency that posts 20 or 100 other footballers, and it's the same copy and paste message. Sorry for the loss, guys. We'll go again next week. So what we do is by removing the abuse, the players come back. Because players genuinely do want to engage with their fan base. They know that they were there before. They were football fans before. So we want to bring that connection. But also, we don't just look after the players and safeguard the players. You've got to consider the fans. Because if someone can post on Gilberto's Instagram, you're my favourite defensive midfielder ever, and someone can then abuse that kid or that person as well. So Gilberto has that, and we also need to think of, as a club, you have a certain amount of responsibility to safeguard your fans in the stadium, but also online as well. So this is probably the longest answer to a question you've had this week.
Is this what this is about?
Yeah, exactly. So by removing the abuse, the players come back and actually engage with their hero, with the fans, and the fans actually do get to engage with the players on board, and it's so easy to do with the right tools.
I have so many questions because I'm very much involved in this industry, in this field. I body double and do a lot of work with Marcus Rashford. I know at times a lot of his management take over his social media. That is a question for you guys. How do you know, or how can you guarantee that a player was on this Strava app, but it's them, it's actually them, it's not the management team taking over to deliver a message or saying, Rashford, can you just quickly send a message to this person who's using the Strava app, and then they go about their business? Are they actively using Strava, the ones that you have on the database?
Yeah, so it's video content. So imagine if TikTok and Twitter had a baby. So you've got, weird analogy, I know, but it's if you've got the video nature of TikTok, but then the conversational nature of Twitter. So that's what it has. You end up in a video conversation. Imagine a conversation you have on Twitter saying, Gilberto's the greatest defensive midfielder. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Yeah. No, he's not. But you have to be, because there's no abuse, it has to be quite thoughtful in what you're saying. And it's also video, so you could go to the length of faking that you look like Gilberto Silva, but for the sake of a 30-second video or 2 minute video, it's not really worth it.
That's the point. Let me come to Gilberto then. Let me ask you, because every time I sit with my fellow Arsenal fans and friends, we discuss about if there was social media back in you guys' day, Thierry would have taken there'd have been a lot of abuse when he first arrived because he took a bit of time to kick on and really become the man who was at Arsenal Football Club. What made you want to get involved in an app, in this Strava? Because, yeah, social media was probably around that time, but not to the levels of what it is nowadays.
So what made me join team in this project was when he told me why he created that. What was the purpose? Because, listen, business to business, anyone can do. But when you have a purpose behind of it, I think this is what grabbed my attention, because he became single dad, and he doesn't want to stop his son to use technology, but he wants his son to be on a safe environment where he could be there without being abused by anybody else. anyone. And then he came out with the idea of building the social media platform where he could use football, put some challenge, speak to friends without any problem. And then this was like a click for me. Wow, if he created this for his son, it's good for my son as well, my kids, but it's good for other kids. It's good for the parents because the parents will be, comfortable because the kids are using technology, but on a safe environment, safe space. Imagine this space here, for example. We are here. If we talk, even if nobody knew each other before, but we are here on a safe space, right? Where we can share some ideas, some thoughts. Yep. Because we are here in this environment where SoccerX provides to us. We are here comfortable because we are part of the same ecosystem. And being there, my kids being there, as a parent, I feel comfortable to my kids being on Striver. Yeah. Because we have this moderation against online abuse. When he said to me, and then my imagination went a little bit further. It's not only for my kids and other kids, but for football players, football fans, but in general, for people who have been abused, like yourself and many others. I think this was the point, because I saw the purpose of it. And then I joined him. We are in this, let's say, in the mission of show people, raise awareness about what we are doing, what's the purpose of it, how do we want to contribute to people and to the world for their safety, especially the mental part of it, the mental side, because imagine every time you are there trying to create something positive and people all the time, knock on you in a very bad way. If they want to criticize, okay, but being abusive, because if you do it on the street, you might have a problem. Why? They feel that they have the right to go on your channel because it's yours. Yeah. It's like your house, Yeah, no,
it makes sense. Let me circle back just to the beginning. Let me come to Tim quickly. Striver, like the name. Just give me the reason for the name, actually. It's just jumping out at me right now. I want to know where you kind of got the name from.
Yeah, so Striver obviously means trying to be a little bit better. Striving to be better. And obviously, as a person, I'm definitely striving to be better. As a father, I'm definitely trying to be better.
I think we all are.
Yeah, we can all relate, right?
Yeah.
As a business, we're trying to behave a bit more like rather than a social media platform, which is ripping your data off and selling it to the best people. We want to behave in a more appropriate manner. And we want our users to just be a little bit better. Don't have to be better, but at least trying to be a little bit better.
Going forward, how do you see Strava growing? Because you said it's video, it's TikTok and Twitter got together. But how do you see it progressing? Because obviously social media platforms nowadays are just adding new things. They're competing against each other. Whether it's messaging, whether it's lives, whether it's reels or TikToks or shorts. Is it just video content, or is there plans to kind of, as it grows, have other functions?
I'm so happy you asked this question.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So we say all social media platforms are the same.
Oh, wow.
How many views you have, how many likes you have, how many followers you have. The metrics are all identical. Yeah. That's it. It's just how the content is presented to you. Yeah. So we've realised that, it's going to be another long answer, so strap yourselves in. So we believe that if you followed Gilberto Silva on Instagram and to get him to post a response on Striver, it's a big ask because it's like public speaking. Posting on social media is like talking in public because the whole world is watching you. Like if I start messing up, hopefully the people in here are here of their own free will and are willing me to do a little bit better and to pick up and improve a bit. But if this was live on the internet and I start messing up, you can guarantee that there couldn't be a happier audience that I was messing it up, right? So we know that we've got to build the confidence levels up of our users to actually go from following Gilberto on Instagram to posting a response. So this is now the answer to your question. So we have tools to make that easier. So firstly, you can just comment and you can exchange comments with the players, and I see that happening all the time because we get tagged in posts all the time. So I can't believe I'm having a conversation with Roberto Carlos or Gilberto Silva. We're about to be the world's first social media platform that does voice notes.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, of course, yeah, no, well, yeah, that's Amazing.
Everyone uses it on WhatsApp. Super simple. So it was complex to try and find a way to moderate that. We're also going to be a way of, you can have a private conversations, so we still moderate it. So for young people that are too scared to post online and post on Striver, they can have a little group chat amongst themselves, video or WhatsApp or anything else, so they can use video to communicate. But as parents, we can still be happy that they're not looking at anything bad or saying anything bad, because it will still be moderated. And also private responses. So if Gilberto puts a challenge in, I can respond to him privately, so only Gilberto and I see it.
That's amazing.
Giving a little books, building the little books of confidence to go through, and that's the fact. So that's proven the fact that 35% of our users engage.
Yeah.
The most engaged social media platform at the moment is TikTok with 2.6.
Wow. I love this event, and firstly, SoccerX, because it's allowed me to, when I leave here, I have so much things to do, download, and get involved in. Strava's definitely be up there, #1. When you came together and decided this is what we want to do, did you realize, football is the most, when it comes to criticism, hate, football is probably up there. As much as, it's a beautiful game, I've had it as well. There's a lot of abuse and criticism in it. So choosing football, was that the decision that you wanted because you're fans of football, or did you think, because you could have probably went a little bit of an easier route with a different sport, but did you just think football was the best target to start with?
Yeah, well, when we've got Gilberto Silva and Roberto Carlos as co-founders, there's not many doors in the world of football that kind of can't be opened, but also it's pretty ballsy to try and go straight for football and say we're a platform which is abuse-free. Yeah. So we decided football was the biggest task to take on. It's the biggest sport in the world. So yeah, start at the top, basically.
How do you monitor the abuse? How do you stop it from happening? I'm very fascinated to understand.
Cool.
How do you stop that?
Again, strap yourselves in for another long answer.
Here we go.
So with comments, it's moderated instantly, so you can type a comment out and we wouldn't even notice it's been moderated. But we look at words. Every single word is individual, then the word, those words are next to, so the phrases, then the sentence, and then the message as a whole. We then get an intent rating on what that message is supposed to be. I'm English, so is it sarcastic, supposed to be funny, light-hearted banter, or is it intended to abuse or be harassment? So that's done instantly. You wouldn't even notice that it's been moderated.
How is that
AI.
from AI? Okay.
AI, yeah. And then for a video, we strip the audio file off and moderate the audio file in the same way we do for comments. And then we take a screen grab every 0.3 of a second of the video and moderate that for nudity, violence, drug taking. All the fun stuff, and then we say that's moderated. So it takes 0.5 of a second to moderate a 3-minute video.
Okay, Gilberto, I need to ask you this. How far do you see this platform and this app going? Because my head's just having fireworks of ideas. Like, I game a lot. I know a lot of footballers game. I know that you're streaming. Your kids might do a lot of gaming, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox or any other consoles that are available. And I feel like Strava, because there's abuse as well online or when it comes to gaming, how far do you see this app going? And do you see a future where, it could even go into that realm, because players also like to game as well? How far can Strava go?
I believe you can go very far, but of course you have to build step-by-step things, and we are in the process of raise awareness about Striver, what we do, what is our purpose on this business, and then to support people. As Tim said, he got the name Striver. Strive to become 1% better today, tomorrow again, we go again, but also knocking, tell people, how can we support them throughout Striver. As we have seen, I worked with a player in the Premier League in the past that, he didn't have some good performance, but he was absolutely abused, You cannot imagine how bad it was. We have to intervene with the club to find a way to protect him. But imagine on that time, a couple of years ago, if we had Striver, he used the Striver, he doesn't have to worry about that, because all these comments would not be on his channel. And as long we can support the players, support the fans, support people around the world with our intention, our purpose, this is our aim. This is what we are working for. Doesn't matter how hard we had to work. Yeah. But we want to make, throughout what we do, throughout what we believe, make like people's life, when they are there, better, to support them the best way you can.
I think there's something important to add. So it all sounds nice and fluffy that we're building an abuse-free social media platform, but it has to work, right? It can't be something the same that's out there. It has to work. So here's a case study that might make you realize that actually giving your fans a voice works.
Yes.
The same player Gilberto was talking about, he used to have, the month before working with us, he got 6 million views in his content and 661,000 pieces of engagement. The month he worked with us, he went from 6 million views to 57.5 million views. Wow. And his engagement went from 661,000 to 4.1 million. All he did was post one challenge and share 5 fan responses. That's it.
What is fascinating about that? Because, for example, let's say if I filter your video come into my feed, everyone can see. And, but also the people who follows you see, oh, Gilberto, I know, filter him. What is that, Let me see what's going on there. And I think this is, and another thing very important when I respond to the video messages. This is fantastic because when you see the reaction on the other side, it's something that, make us close to each other. People I never seen before, very close. But then I respond their video, it's feel like very, oh, it's my friends. Let's do it again. But this is our mission, to help people, to support them, but bring them to be close as possible to see less. Listen, this is a cool place to be. This is where I can engage, I can have fun, but also I can have, at some point, I'll be in the room, maybe one of my idols can say hello to me.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It's a lovely app. I'm going to have to download it straight away. I need to ask you, though, if there is a regular person trying to give hate comments or be quite abusive, because I think when it comes to criticisms of social media platforms, it's always a slap on the wrist. There's no way to identify who it is. There's no, the names, addresses, or anything. Do you have to do that to sign up to your Strava? Or is it just, there's no way the abuse is going to get to this person, so there's no need for that?
It's never going to get out there, so we moderate first, and then it goes live. So there's never going to be any need to do that. We are looking at doing some facial recognition, weirdly, with the people on here before.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So we are talking to them about it.
Love that. Yeah.
So we're talking to them.
I've been between. Yeah, nice.
There you go. So it's never going to be a position where we need to do that sort of stuff. And in fact, I was talking to someone earlier and saying, would you give your AI to Meta and TikTok and everything? I go, absolutely, they can have it. Of course they can have it. And they go, well, why haven't they done it yet? You solved social media, the abuse of social media on social media in 6 months. Yeah. Why aren't they doing it? I'm like, well, what's the point of them having our technology? Because they've got billions of hours of pieces of content that's full of hate and abuse already. They've got to clean shop first before they stop posting more stuff, more content coming on the platform. It's like, what do we say, shutting the gate after the horse has bolted.
It's very true. Do you worry, this can probably be my final question before I open it to the floor, do you worry about which I'm assuming the platform's going to grow massively, the influx of people that are going to go to your app and then being able to sustain that and keep the levels and the standards so high that there's no abuse on the platform, as you mentioned in your tagline. Is there a concern for that, or are you prepared for that?
Are we? yeah, we are. So this can scale really quickly. It's all done through AI, so there's not a chance that the content will get in there. So we have no issues with scalability and anything like that. The only thing would be my sleeping pattern, which may be affected. But that would be about it.
Amazing. Well, thank you to both of you. Let me open the floor. Does anyone have any questions for the panel on the stage right now for Strava? Anyone have any questions? I'll run over a mic, if so. Come on, Jordy, let's do this. My man.
Well, more than a question is a curiosity. So I think one of the beautiful things about Strive is that you can change the way that social posting and all the social media industry works. For example, if you prove that people engage and engage even more in terms of those rates and that you were mentioning, being polite and being empathetic and you can completely transform what the social media industry is today, which is about the other way around, right? Do you have any support from public administrations and things like that? Because I think you should. I mean, governments should be backing you somehow.
If you've got any phone numbers, please feel free to pass them my way. But no, we've only launched in November, and the interest we've had is just phenomenal. So FIFA U8, in fact, I'm not allowed to say. Whoops. So we're getting a hell of a lot of interest because it just solves so many problems. You're absolutely right. And there's a phrase Gilberto normally says on stages that I'm absolutely stealing now. Social media platforms are about me. I'm telling you about what's going on in my life and how amazing I am. Our platform's about us, Gilberto Silva's audience, my very small audience comparatively speaking, but it's about us, or us here. It's about giving your fans a voice. And like I said, the results from the case study we did are just massive. And all you have to do is just listen to your fans, but you have to have some sort of restrictions on what they're allowed to post.
Yeah. Complementary to the question, we are in conversation with the federations and the confederation around the world and FIFA. I'm going to speak to UEFA. You know, it's like the football clubs, because it's in their interests as well to protect the players, but also to protect their fan base. You know, I think they have accountability on that. You know, when I mention about the Premier League player I worked with that received a lot of abuse, now meet with the head of the marketing, right? You ask him, what if any of your fans, because they did a very nice activation with one of the players, I think it was with David De Gea.
It was a goalkeeper.
Which went very well in terms of publicity and so on. But then the team make a very interesting question. What if one of your fans being abused on this, you know, publicity? What would you do? Stay quiet and say, I never thought about that. Say, that's why, you know, we are, you know, put a lot of energy on it just to make people understand what is behind it. You know, how can we support people regarding these problems around the world? Because as you mentioned, very, you know, very importantly, you can change the way how we behave into social media towards each other, just to be more you know, sympathetic to each other. Not be, you know, you can be, let's say, sometimes negative, but not abusive. Maybe, for example, a football match. If I don't play well, it's fair that people are. You didn't have a good game today. It's all right. But they cannot come and feel the right to, you know, smash me on a very abusive way.
Any more questions? Yeah. Here we go. Hello, from PFC0exrT5U. Thank you for this very interesting presentation. I was earlier at your talk about how many games are players playing, and you spoke about that the players don't have a way to get together and to give out their message. Do you think that your platform could be the new way, the new innovative way to give out the message of the players to gather all together and to be the voice through Striver that they could be actually heard about those problems that the players are having?
Absolutely. Because first they are feel comfortable that nobody's going to abuse them. Their channel. It's like, for example, my channel is my house, my place. If somebody wants to speak to me, be nice, right? Same if I go to your channel, I have to behave. And secondly, it's the best way for them to talk by themselves. Don't let anybody else talk to them. I have an experience when I was sports director at Panathinaikos, and that's the players didn't want to speak to the media. At some point, the PR guy called me and asked for help and told me about what was going on. And I immediately spoke to the manager and then spoke to the player, have a meeting. And I mentioned to them, listen, it's very important that you speak to the media. And, but they only criticize us. I say, well, if you don't perform well, they have the right to say that. But, you know, it depends what they say, right or wrong, but it's their job. Your job is to perform and play football and do, but you are not going to talk to the journalists specifically, but you are going to talk to your audience, to the fans of Panathinaikos, of the club. And the channel, you know, the social media platform is the best way for them to talk without any journalist asking them a question, because they say, listen, today was not a good day. You know, I'm a human being, like all of you. I have a bad day. I have personal problem, but I'm working hard. I'm working hard. I'm going to be, better in the next day. Because at the end of the day, people will understand. But using their voice, don't let people talk to them. I think this is a way for them just to feel comfortable. Because they are, when we see after the post-match, they don't perform well, they lose a game. They don't want to go on interviews. They don't want to put that on their social media because they are concerned about that, being abused by somebody. For sure, definitely can help them a lot.
Any more questions to round up? We've got one more in the back there. Let me quickly. Here we go. Sorry, I know we're overrunning a little bit, but I think it's worth it.
I think the concept of the app is brilliant, but do you have any plans in the future to even stop in real life abuse as well at the stadiums? Because I think a few clubs have started initiatives where if you hear abuse, you text something to a specific number during the game, and I think that's also great. So do you have any ideas to stop in real life abuse just as well as online abuse?
That's a great question. We are just a startup, so we can't take on all of the problems of the world just yet, but we feel like we're trying to make a difference. Online abuse is free for everybody, where it's a bit more isolated in real life, but you're absolutely right, and I think we would love to be part of that, and we're talking to 2 or 3 charities and organisations about using our platform to do exactly that. But I think education is part of it, because people, I think if you can post anything you like on someone's social media channels and be as abusive as you like, it can't help to think, because people think they can do it in real life as well. So yeah, great question. Yes, is the short answer.
Okay. Well, I'm going to bring this fireside chat to an end. Thank you so much, both of you. Please join me in a round of applause as well. This has been an amazing way to end this Soccer X venue, and well, the venue, Wennen 95. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Honestly, amazing. Please, as well, keep the QR codes on the screen because I'm going to scan both my phones and download it right now. But thank you to both of you, and feel free to have a conversations with them as we kind of wrap up today here. I just want to say a big thank you to the Johan Cruyff Arena, to Soccer X as well. It's been an amazing 2 days, especially here in the Wennen 95 stage. So thank you to everyone that's came in, been respectful, listened, and made connections and contacts. I've had a blast, and I'm sure you all have as well. And we'll see you at the next event. There's another event being available for you to get tickets very soon. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone, and peace. Love.